Match pretty much time is up. 94 minutes is done. GM says, two glorious chances gone a begging. Absolutely, absolutely. And the whole complexion of the match. There we go. We're done diddled. We're in the pregame, like I said. We'll be here for 15 minutes, then we'll be shutting it down. But I tell you, 0-0 on the night. Jesse Marsh can be happy with the result, yeah? Lorenzo, probably not too happy with the draw, considering they had all the play. They did have the best chances on the match throughout, the closest chances on goal, and the chance of the match was obviously Luis Diaz when he was one-on-one late in the second half, one-on-one with Dane St. Clair in net for Canada. St. Clair does the angles perfectly, and Diaz's shot goes wide of the post. Unbelievably anxious moment for Diaz. He couldn't believe it, so angry with himself. He was still chuntering moments later when he was on the bench, and minutes later he was still chuntering, and at the end of the game he was still chuntering that he didn't get that goal or the ball in the back of the net. Did anybody deserve to win this game tonight? I think on the reflection of play, you would possibly say Colombia did deserve to win it. But just like the Valderrama fans in the crowd, they had a great time watching this team. It was not what you would say the normal place for either team to meet each other, but that's twice now on the same day, October 14, that these teams have met. It's the first time that Canada has drawn with Colombia. The other three matches was a 3-0 win back in 1988 for Colombia. Then it was a 2-0 win in 2000 with the Gold Cup final, Canada winning a Gold Cup trophy, 2-0. Jason DeVos getting the first goal. Carlo Corazin getting the second goal via penalty for Canada's biggest day ever. The third game was 14 years ago. 11 years ago. Getting it correct. 11 years ago in the same stadium where Colombia wins 1-0, 1-0. And today, 0-0 between the two teams. Fantastic game defensively. Fantastic battle for Canada. Who gets most out of this game? Does Canada get more out of this game than Colombia, or does Colombia get more out of this than Canada? Looking for Colombia, it's another safe game. It's another easy match that they've got through. They've tested a few players. Lorenzo will be quite happy that they haven't lost. He'll probably be a little bit disappointed, not annoyed that they haven't hit the back of the net, which they should have done. Like I said, on the reflection of play, Colombia should have won this match. 1-0, maybe 2-0, because you saw it, I saw it. The chances were there for everybody to see, and they didn't hit the net. It's the quality that failed on the end of the final move. The moves sometimes for Colombia were very intricate, as they were for Canada, but it's a final pass. Kone for Canada was guilty a few times of getting that final pass way off. And that, later in the game, was more apparent as Canada was storming and coming into the match. And that final pass was off by Kone. He had a decent game. I'm not coming down on him. I'm just pointing out one of the interesting points that Canada needed to have changed out. 60 minutes, Kone should have gone. Nelson should have come in. Fresher legs, better zipping passing. Kone did his job. He's a 90-minute player for sure. But when he plays 60, you're exchanging that for someone who's now faster, got more gas in the tank, and is coming in with zipping passes. And Jaden Nelson, for me, exciting player to watch. He can go left ways, right ways, both feet. Great passing, sees the game, reads everything very well, but an addition that would impact the match. Kone was slowly burning out. Just like you saw with Ali Ahmed, he burned out slowly in the second half and got changed out. Kone should have gone at the same time. Back into the chat for a couple of chats here. Voodoo Pork Shop, Biello Old Boys Club. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Joe A. Maples have to hold on now for the draw. Figure out some offensive prowl in November. It was a great moment when you said that, because you're absolutely bloody right. Colombia is at home. How many Canadian cities? We answered that one. Sorry. GM, two glorious chances. You betcha. J.A. Clark. St. Clair did good for his case tonight. A couple of key saves. You know, when you keep a clean sheet, it's about the team defense, but it's also, it always comes back to the goalkeeper, because no matter what we say about team defense, we always look at the goalkeeper for shutouts or clean sheets. And them are the guys that really earn it, yeah? He was safe. His collection rate was pretty decent. His hands were good. His positional sense was absolutely on the money. Otherwise, Diaz gets that goal, yeah? So again, Yeah, I totally agree. St. Clair did a good job for his case tonight. Maxime's going to be hard to get past in net for Canada, yeah? Maxime Croupeau. But if you look out through history, we've always had decent goalkeeping. Always had decent goalkeeping. You know, you can go all the way back to, say, Pat Onstad, Lars Hirschfeld, yeah? Craig Forrest. I mean, Kenny Stamatopoulos was another one that was active in the mix for a little while too, yeah? We've had decent goalkeepers in Canada for a long time, and it doesn't seem that that's going to end because both Dane St. Clair and Maxime Croupeau are good enough to be number ones for our cases because they always play a decent match. So, yeah, I think that there, I do say he did play a good game. Who is the man of the match, though, for tonight's match? It's a bit of a tickler. I need someone to tell me who you think your man of the match is tonight. Is it one of the goalkeepers? Is it somebody on the forward line? Doubtful. Midfield? Possibly not. Defender? Maybe. But man of the match tonight. I'll give you mine in 5 minutes. We've got 7 minutes left on this post-game, guys. If you've got something to add, drop it in here. Remember, like, subscribe, drop some love on this channel. We are not monetized. I do not take money. I don't need money. This is all about the family. It's all about us. You in the camera, you in the chat, me leading the charge here on the mic. There's no money necessary. Never will be. I don't charge for nothing. And them that do, power to you. That's your way. Good on you. Good on you. I don't need to. I don't want to. This is always for free. And YouTube want to charge. I don't want to. This is always for free because it's fun. You charge people, you're not having fun. You're now working for a living. I'm having fun for a living with you in the chat, you in the camera, and me talking through the mic because I love what you bring. And you do. You bring some amazing stuff. But on the match tonight, essentially, Colombia came to test and see what they have and how they're going to be moving forward. I'm quite sure Lorenzo is happy with the draw. Like I say, not ecstatic that he didn't win due to the amount of chances. I'm going to go to the stats and give you the full-time stats right now on the game. And Jesse Marsh on the other side, although not as, you would say, illuminated as he normally is, he looks quite calm. And I would advise Jesse to stay in the calm mode because it seems to help his players far better when Canada's playing calm. If he's jumping up and down on the sideline and acting very anxious and not calm, I don't think that works good for the guys on the field. You've seen in the last two games with Jesse being calm on the sideline, I feel the players are feeding off him as a leader being calm. You got young guys on that team, Canada. It doesn't take much to rile young guys. It takes a coach to keep everybody in unison and keep everybody on the game plan. But above all, it takes the coach as well to look after the players. Yeah, remember Kone's come through some trials and tribulations, and Jesse was there for him. That kind of thing, yeah? That kind of thing. I'm going to go in the stats here, and I've been coming back in the chat in a second, guys. Total match stats on the night, 0-0. Obviously, Colombia and Canada from Harrison, New Jersey, USA. And stats all the way down the line for Team Colombia, Los Cafeteros. Shots, 6 on target. 1. 60% possession, 502 passes, 85% possession. 85% accuracy. Accuracy. In a battle of attrition like that, 85% accuracy. That is amazing. 20 fouls, so they're well and truly in the Dirty Bastards Club. How many yellow cards from 20 fouls? Ask yourself a question. How many yellow cards from 20 fouls? 0. None. And the only thing other to report for Team Colombia is 2 corners. Now, for Canada, different story. You're going to laugh here. I'm going to make Colombian fans laugh too. Different story for Colombia. You've heard it. For Canada, shots 4 on target. 1. So the same as Colombia. 1 shot. So 2 shots for 90 minutes plus from both teams on target. Possession, 39%. You'd expect that. Passes, 331. Pass accuracy, 76%. Fouls, Dirty Bastards Club, 18. So, Colombia 20, Canada 18 fouls. A fair measure of fouls. Yellow cards, and I say Dirty Bastards in a loving, fun way, so just know that. Yellow cards, 3 yellow cards for Canada. No red cards, thankfully. Ricky Larrea dodged a bullet. Offsides, 1, and corners, 2. At the end of the match, Hey, it is what it is. We had some fun with it. It wasn't exactly match of the universe, match of the day. It is what it is. We had some fun with it. It wasn't exactly match of the universe, match of the day. It wasn't going to be the most electrifying match once we got going because there wasn't enough space and both teams were literally playing the same game. The quality was missing on the final third, especially from Colombia tonight. A little bit more Colombian quality would have won this game. Canada did very well and came into the match, like I say, in the second half more so and really looked respectable in the second half. First half, they were adjusting, trying to stay in the game, building the game, but more so stay in the game as Colombia were pressing, and missing shots and not connecting. And would they regret it? Eventually, they would regret it as far as not winning the match, but as not drawing the match is not really like a loss, is it? But for them, the draw will feel like a loss. But for Canada, the draw will feel like a win because they've come up against one of the big units in world football, Colombia, 13 in the world. Not a little team, but a big team. And Canada played pretty decent, fared well, had to play the counter-attack all the way through the second half. But you have to say, as long as they stayed in the game and were unscored on, they had a chance to steal. That's the kind of permutation when the World Cup comes along, when Canada plays against one of those big World Cup juggernauts. If by chance we get out of the group and if by chance we move into the round of 16, I'm not jinxing anything, but if by chance we are in a game like this one against a big juggernaut in international world football, we just gave ourselves a vision of what it's going to be like and the game you're going to have to play and the result you might have to run with. Because this kind of match, playing the way we did against Colombia tonight, Canada stayed in that match all the way through and Colombia misfired on those little moments, but big moments in the game when they were one-on-one with the keeper or when them headers were just going past the post. It's only fractional failure on the connection that kept Canada in the game. But in saying that, as long as Canada stayed unscored on, and 0-0 was on the board, and coming into the game the way they did in the second half, the chances were that they were going to steal the match 1-0. That's going to be a tester and a learning curve for us for the World Cup. And that's why I say this match tonight was a brilliant game to have played when you're thinking how to play out a match within the World Cup against a big unit like Colombia. We did that tonight. We did that with bag loads. And let's face it, Colombia played a decent match. Nobody failed. Nobody played a rotten match here tonight. Everybody played up to the level, but you had two teams playing at their max. And Lady Luck was on our side more so than Colombia. Back into the chat. We've got a couple of minutes left, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it tonight, and I really do hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you sign up. And if you want to get into Wrexham games, we do Wrexham on here every game. The next watch-along coming up is Stoke City versus Wrexham from the Championship. That's going to be an absolute monstrous game. There's a lot riding on it. And chat into the chat. Da-da-da-da. D Jackson, big up to you, bro. Up to you. Joining a bit late. How did Canada look overall? Overall, I tell you what, they can hold their heads up high. I think we can be very proud of the situation after this match. First off, we were literally getting shaded possession-wise from Colombia. You'd expect it. They had more of the ball, more of the play, and rightfully could have been a one goal up at half-time. No more than that. But we stayed in it. And defensively, team game, chemistry, we looked good. And chemistry-wise, Jesse Marsch was calm. And that's another good thing. If he's calm, it helps the team. First half. Second half, Canada come into it a lot more. Owning the ball, good possession play, more physical play, maybe too much physical play at times, but best of the half, I would say, was between maybe the 50th minute to maybe the 80th minute. Canada really came into a good session of play, dominated the ball, and pushed Colombia back a little bit and kept them in their own half. So the way we finished off the second half, I think, is the way to play in their half, in anybody's half, because that's your best defense. But reflectively, I think we can hold our heads up high. We did very well. And coming out of this game, we held our own. We didn't look bad. Everybody played their role. Everybody can walk tall after this. The fans can walk tall after this as well. Both sets. But Canada looked good. putting it that way. Moving to the next set of games, Ecuador, Venezuela. I have no reason to worry about that. I think we've got something to look forward to. But this was the big test. Colombia was the big test in this window. Australia, we lose to. Probably shouldn't have done, but we know why we did with the Seagull mistake. But this was the big test out of these two windows. How we'd fare against Colombia. This will only serve to give confidence to everybody in the Canadian setup. Everybody will literally buzz all week for that result. Because if you go and play Colombia and you don't lose, you can be well happy. And Colombian fans right now, all the way in Bogota, I thank you all for joining in. Thank you all for joining in. Much love, really much love, and big respect. Love your country. Love everything about it. Love the football. All the superstars, the Reneguitas, yeah, Valderramas, all the rest of them, yeah, and some others I could name. But I tell you, it's always fun to play Colombia. I hope we play you quicker than 11 years the next time. And I hope you play you again on my birthday, because it's a great present. And adding this, coming into this game just as we finish, I thought possibly we were going to lose 2-0, leveling with you guys. And I said that on the pregame. I thought this game sets up that Colombia should win 2-0. A good result would be a 1-1. Well, we've got a good result, but it's a 0-0. And we haven't lost. So thank you, Colombia. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you there right now. Thank you, the microphone. Thank you, Canada, for having me a great birthday present and seeing Canada draw Colombia, because that is absolutely massive. In my book, if you can get a draw on Colombia, that's massive. And I'm going to draw back to it. If this time when we are playing a big team, or when it's in a competition match, and we play a big team per se like Colombia, and we're going deep into the game, and let's just imagine, let's dream for a second. It's the round of 16 as we're shutting this down. We're in the round of 16, yeah? World Cup, Canada, USA, Mexico, and you got a big team on the line, and the game's drawing down to 90 minutes, and it's looking like this. Whistle goes. You're in extra time. Extra time goes. You could be into penalty kicks, right? But the longer you stay level, the more the pressure lines up on the big team. Because David and Goliath is a little bit of what we saw tonight. But at a World Cup, if we take on a big team, it will be a David and Goliath situation. And the longer David stays in the fight and tricks and falls and dodges Goliath and stays out of the battering ram and doesn't get boomed, the longer it goes, the quicker the upset can happen. We've got to be ready for that situation. So we've learned a lot here. And the younger players on Canada's team will have learned more, per se, in my book, out of this match than, per se, Colombia's team as a whole.